We're making super simple, easy holiday ham today. It's so easy, it's ridiculous. I'm Susie Felton. Welcome to Mrs. Montana Rancher. So how many of you struggle with the idea of making ham? You know, the traditional way is to bake it in the oven, but sometimes that's hit or miss. So we're going to talk about today how to do a foolproof method, perfect every time, ridiculously simple, so easy your kids could do it, holiday ham. I'm a ranch wife, a mom, an educator, and an entrepreneur, and together with my Montana Rancher, we raise cattle, kids, and crops up here in Big Sky Country. One of the things I do is feed the ranch crew every day. It takes a lot to get these guys fed. It takes a lot of planning, and it takes a lot of big pieces of beef and pork and all kinds of things here at the ranch. And of course we do a lot of, we raise our own beef, and so that's our primary protein source, but we also do some pork. And I know a lot of you are worried about where your food comes from. And let me tell you, one of the things that's fun to do that we enjoy doing is supporting our local 4-H and FFA members and purchasing a pig, at least a pig, usually 3 or 4, at the fair every year. You can have those processed however you like. And then that stocks my freezer with pork for the year. And I mean, you haven't lived until you've tried custom thick cut pepper bacon. It's to die for. So I have hams in the freezer. I'm down to 2 this year, and I have some aspirations to smoke one on the smoker grill. But I thought for this we would start with the easy, super simple, basic ham. And I'm not kidding you, folks. Putting a ham in the slow cooker has changed my world. I was very doubtful, and one year we bought a lot of pigs at the fair and had a lot of ham, and so I experimented a little bit, and once I discovered this method, it's the only way to go. So that's what we're doing today. We're putting a ham in the slow cooker, believe it or not. Super simple. I mean, you can tell somebody how to do this in like 3 steps. So I have my ham. It's beautiful. This is a bone-in ham, and this was from a pig we purchased at the fair. And I thought it would be fun to get on here live and show you guys the easiest method ever to baking a ham. In this case, we're going to put it in the slow cooker. So this is a beautiful ham. It is not pre-sliced. You can use a pre-sliced ham. It doesn't matter. But this one is a whole ham, or a half of a whole ham, and it has a bone in, so that makes things a little bit tricky in the slow cooker, and I'll show you why here in a second. But it's just beautiful, and I took this out of the freezer last night. I showed you the top, but let me flip it over so you can see this ham. I mean, it's gorgeous. It is just ready to go, and I'll feed the crew with this today and tomorrow, and then I'll freeze the rest for easy, quick sandwiches and maybe some kind of a scallop ham potato bake in the future. But let's talk a little bit about background of hams. Hams are cured, and so when you're baking them, or in this case slow cooking them, you just have to bring them up to temp. You're not really cooking them as far as you're reheating them. So, and it's sometimes tricky to do that and get them where you want them to be, especially at high altitude. I think that's the kicker. Without drying them out. And this method, I mean, to tell you, it's so easy. So we're going to do that. I've got the slow cooker out. Now this is a 9.5 pound ham. It's big. And when you get them when you buy the pig at the fair and they come, you know, you're not like in the grocery store picking from a bunch of hams. You get what you get. So this one is big, and I had to adjust it a little bit for my slow cooker once I got it defrosted this morning. But I mean, it's so easy. I'm just going to set this in the slow cooker. Oop, throwing some juice around there, and I'm gonna put this aside. So now I have my ham in the slow cooker. Now when we do baking recipes where we're making a baked good, it's so important to follow the recipe exactly. But when we do something like this in a slow cooker, it's not. You can play around. You can use flavor profiles that you enjoy. The one my husband likes the best is the one I'm doing today, and that is he loves pineapple on ham. And so in the slow cooker, you need to add some moisture, and I have just a big can of pineapple, and I usually would just use pineapple juice. That works fine too, but he likes to eat the chunks of pineapple out of what's left after we have the ham, and so I buy either the chunky kind or the small chunks, and that's what I have today. And I'm going to pour, it's really the moisture we're going for in here. You don't want to overload it. but I'm gonna use these pineapple chunks just because that's what he prefers. It's really just pineapple juice that you're going for, and so you don't have to buy the chunky kind, but my husband really likes to eat these out of when it's done. Okay, and so we have that. Then we have something sweet. And in this case, I'm using a 1/4 cup of real maple syrup, not the artificial kind, the real kind. So I'm gonna pour that in, kind of over the top of my ham and around. Now, you don't have to use maple syrup. You could use a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and it would turn out exactly the same way. You could use, I kind of had an inspiration and I didn't have time to run to the store, but I thought it might be fun to do apricot preserves for Easter ham. And so something sweet, you add to that. It doesn't take a lot in the slow cooker for it really to fill that ham with flavor and turn out with great results. And so when you're doing something like this, you really want to tailor it to your taste. My husband loves pineapple, so I used the pineapple chunk. I could easily have just used pineapple juice, about a cup and a half of pineapple juice and a 1/4 cup of, in this case, real maple syrup, not the artificial kind, but you could use brown sugar. You could use something else sweet. If you're more into the savory and you don't care for the sweet on your ham, add some Dijon mustard and a little bit of pineapple juice and call it a day. It's really easy. So that's it. I mean, literally, my kids could prepare this. So it goes in there. The only kicker, this is a 9.5 pound ham, and you can kind of see the problem here just from the screen. It doesn't fit. So because of how it's baking, you wouldn't want to do this if you were baking a ham in the oven. You wouldn't want to cut into it. But for this case, I had to kind of slice the ham off the top to get it to fit in my slow cooker. And so I already did that, so I wasn't trying to do that on camera. And it's a slow cooker, so it doesn't matter. So I just took that off so my slow cooker lid would fit on top. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw this on here, and it fits perfectly. I might have to arrange that piece a little bit. That's it, folks. I'm telling you. The only thing you have to do with ham is that you're not baking a raw ham. A ham is cured, and so you're just bringing it up to temp. And with pork, you know, your safety zone is above 160. As with every kind of meat I prepare, I always let it rest. Now, cooking times. This is not like a regular slow cooking recipe. You're not going to do 8 to 10 hours. You just want to bring it up to temp. And I'm going to use a thermometer to test it periodically to get to that temp, which is going to be, in my case, I'm going to pull it out of here about 155 because I know it's going to come up at least to 160, and that rest time probably 165, which is over 160, you're in the safe zone with pork. And that's where I like to be. I don't like pink, you know, and even though this is already cured, we don't want to do any kind of rare pork. At least we don't. You know, you can choose where you want your meat cooked. That's your personal thing, but we like to have it so it's 160 or above. I'll pull it out 155. It'll come up to temp as it rests for 15 to 20 minutes. And I'm going to test it with my thermometer a few times. Now, you can do on low, this ham will come up to temp in 4 to 5 hours. This is a big ham. So probably closer to 5 hours. I don't have much time today. I'm putting this baby on high, and in 3 hours, after 2 hours, I'm going to start testing it. In 3 hours, it's going to be done. I can pull it off. I can let it rest. And I have not only lunch today, I have leftovers through the week. When we get tired of leftovers, I'm going to freeze them, and I can yank them out for quick meals after that. So that's what's happened today at the ranch. I'm telling you guys, if you're cooking Easter dinner or you just want to do a ham and you've always kind of dreaded the ham, drying it out, it doesn't matter if you buy a spiral sliced ham or a bone-in ham like this one. Once you try this method, I'm telling you, you're never going to be scared of cooking a ham again. You're going to have one during the year when you find them on sale. It is just easy. It's perfect every time. You can play with your flavor profiles to suit your family. Pretty much, you just need some moisture in there and you're good to go. A big part of my day is feeding that ranch crew, and so I'm always looking for ways to make my life easier. I'm looking for ways to have just foolproof, hands-off results. And this is one that I found and I wanted to share with you guys because it's not always easy baking a ham and not having a dried out mess in the end, and no one wants to do that. No one wants to stress about it, and I found this quick and easy method, and I want to share with everybody because it rocked my world. This ham has been in the slow cooker it's a big ham. This is a 9.5 pound ham. It's a big one, and it has taken every bit on high of 4 hours. So you kind of have to make sure that you give yourself plenty of time, because even though I had it on high, it did take that extra time. And I want to make sure that I bring it all the way up to temp and get it into that 160 range by the time I'm done, so we know that we have thoroughly heated the inside of that ham. I brought this ham up to 160 and I'm ready to slice it. Now let's do a quick, how do you slice a ham? I put it down, so let's see if I can lift it. You can see this beautiful bottom is hot. You can see that circular bone, and that should go down. Let's get this arranged here. And then I can feel the other part of the bone in a bone-in ham right here. I'm gonna slice right across like this, and I'm just gonna slice off some pieces. If I was a professional ham slicer, I could do that all at once and then slice down and it would come off perfectly. I'm not, I do the best I can. So we're gonna do another one down here and just get some thin, nice ham slices out for the ranch crew so they can come in, because we are running a little late on lunch. Now this is just beautiful, it's moist, it's packed with flavor. My husband will pick the pineapples out of the slow cooker. If you were gonna make ham gravy for a holiday, you could use that, what's left in the slow cooker, to do that. But it's just a foolproof method. I'm left with a juicy, easy ham that I put less than 10 minutes into this morning and was hands off all day. I pulled it out when it hit close to 160, let it rest, come all the way up to 160, and I'm slicing it to serve. That's it. It works every time. The only thing you have to watch for is when you get a great big ham like this one, it took longer than I expected it. So I did, you could do it low. If you had plenty of time. I put the slow cooker on high. It still took every bit of 4 hours. This is a 9.5 pound ham. If you have a smaller ham in the 4 to 5 pound range, it's not going to take that long. So you do have to check it. You know, you always have your handy dandy thermometer. I have these everywhere, and that is the key to successful. It doesn't matter if you're grilling, roasting, making a ham, knowing where your temperature should be on your meat. It not only keeps your family safe, but it gives you great results. It works every time. Don't be afraid to try this slow cooker ham. I'm telling you, rocks my world and gives you hands-off great results, which that's more than you can ask for ham, because no one likes a dried out ham. That's what's going on. I'm Susie Felton. Thanks for joining us on Mrs. Montana Rancher.